All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Purple Podcast. I hope you're doing all right today. We're back in the booth tonight with another great one here. No doubt about that. It is a Thursday evening when we'll be recording this. You'll be listening to it on a Sunday if you're keeping up and staying on point with, getting right at the episode as soon as it comes out. But whenever you're listening to it, I hope you enjoy it. Doing a lot of good work here. We're repping my Miami Dolphins here again. It's not an easy time to be a Dolphins fan. We got a game tonight against the Buffalo Bills, and if you even want to call it a game, is subject to question because it might get ugly, guys. But hey,
Dana will be
back
happy.
here.
Austin,
Sure.
tonight might be a good
Silver
time
linings.
to talk about getting your monkey spanked.
Getting my monkey spanked. Well, you're the expert. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Hey,
I just thought
froze
I'd
him
throw it
up
out
real
there.
good, didn't you?
Hey, the Dolphins might be getting their monkey smacked.
Well, you were wearing all Raiders gear. I guess that episode hasn't come out yet, but
Yeah,
how'd that game go for you?
It didn't go so well. Gosh.
Hey, welcome to the toilet bowl with me, bud.
Yeah, I'm used to it. Believe me.
Yeah.
Let's kill this episode. This was a fun one.
Yeah, Griff, it's your pick. Introduce it, man.
Yeah,
Come on, dude.
Guys,
What are we doing tonight?
we got Casablanca from 1942. Heavy hitter, directed by Michael Curtiz.
Curtiz with the Z.
Curtiz. I bet they said. Well, who knows? Maybe they did say Curtiz, but
They do.
1942. Austin's a smartass. Let's see. Is he Hungarian? I've noticed a lot of Hungarian people actually affiliated with this movie because it was him. And then the one guy, what was the one cat's name, Austin? I think it was like S.K. Sakal.
S.Z. Sakal, who's Carl. So
Yeah.
this movie is filled with immigrants, refugees. What's notable about that? When did this movie come out, guys? It comes out January 23rd of 1943. It's being shot during, I'm sure, like the 41s. 42 is when it had its initial debut, but when they, counted it towards the Oscars, it was a 43, so it was in the Oscars for the year of 44. But what I'm getting at here, World War II is ongoing and is front of mind and integral to the story of this movie as well. So a lot of immigrants involved with it, Hungarian director, and he kind of did the casting with that and pulled some people in there. And I think it's a really cool way to it. And I don't want to, jump the gun and get too far into it, but it makes some of the scenes and, some of the themes in this that much more hard hitting because these people that are involved with this movie were fleeing from their countries.
They were
And
living
they were shooting
the experience.
It is very the zeitgeist, you could say as well. When this movie does come out, there was literally a meeting between, I think, Churchill, Roosevelt in Casablanca. So they're like, they rushed this shit to get it out right then and there because it was occurring, it was right then and there.
Well, I mean, I think that is significant. I think when I was reading, there were only like 3 American-born actors that were even part of the film, and one of them was Humphrey Bogart. And I will say, if I have any sort of redemption here, something I had actually learned from the guy speaking before the movie on HBO Max when we were watching, OSZ was actually miscredited as SK Sakal on the film. I don't know if you guys had noticed that. He really was. So it was SK on the on the big intro screen and everything. But
that's funny. I'm looking at IMDb here right now, and they say SZ Sakal as Carl as SK Sakal. They have it in his credits even on IMDb right here.
They really did. But I mean, I'll just start off. The reason I picked this movie, guys, I didn't know a thing about it. All I knew is that it was a classic. Everyone, I think, would know that just from living and being around. And I said, hey, we review movies. We're the movie guys, so why don't we dig into some real tried and true classics here and see what we think.
Let's see what our range is like. Funny, because you think about it, we did Shawshank Redemption last week, right, guys?
We did.
And not until maybe this movie where there's maybe a sense of imposter syndrome trying to dissect and go into this one that is like so firmly cemented into Hollywood history. As we mentioned, our boy Roger Ebert called this the movie, capital M. This is the movie.
Now, the thing is, Austin, the thing you have to keep in mind, with a man like my father wearing a hat such as that, I think we could review anything. I think we might. I mean, shit, I don't even know if Roger Ebert is holding a candle to us at this point, Austin. Just maybe one man's opinion.
I mean, when it's all said and done, boys, the Purple Podcast, we are going to have nothing but a trail behind us and people trying to keep up and catch up. And those who have already ended their career, one way or the other, you know, they don't have anything to do about it because we've already passed them by. So I hear what you're getting at, man. I do.
You know what it is. Let's hear this, Dad. Had you ever seen this movie before?
Great
Griffin, I've seen bits and pieces of this. Again, growing up as a kid, I heard my mom talk about this was, my mom, they talked about Humphrey Bogart, like he was a god, Ingrid Bergman. My grandma just loved this movie. This is one that I know when we had those videos, she wanted Casablanca on video, and then she wanted it on DVD. She just loved this movie. She loved Turner Classic Movies to see movies such as Casablanca. Loved it.
So, and I myself, I had seen it only maybe once or twice for a film class in the day. And I'd become familiar with older films, classic Hollywood films in that way. You guys, have you really watched much of like these classic 40s films and even, maybe even later than that? I mean, I guess It's a Wonderful Life is around the time.
Absolutely. I mean, you got it, Austin, I spent my grandma's last couple of years of her life, I spent watching Turner Classic Movies with her. So what you find is as you get older, you start going back to your roots, just like I like the 80s, some of the 80s classic, movies. My grandma was going back to 20s, 30s, 40s is what her thing was. So I spent a lot of time watching those movies with her. Can I say this, guys? Do we all know that Bogart and Bergman, they did not, she was not his favorite. We all knew that, right?
Well,
going into this,
Bogart was married himself already and didn't spend any time really getting to spend time with her. He didn't do it. He would go back, he would drink, he would smoke, and he would show up and do the sets. Apparently the director liked
my father would womanize. He would drink.
Hey, well, let me say this. Something that probably really irritated the man was she was taller than him. So they had him in platforms. Did we know that?
Is that a bit of a projection, Dad? Are we projecting right now?
Yeah, how much do you know? You think it really bothered him?
Hey,
I'm telling you, there's an interview that I was watching about this cat, and he's talking about, it was irritating to have to wear these platforms throughout this movie. So, I mean, scenes with her, I mean, he's only 5'8", and she's 5'9", and look at our scene because he's a couple inches taller than her. So they'd
have him sitting on
they could have had him on some books. I don't know.
Well, they did. The thing is, listen to this, guys. Humphrey Bogart is Warner Brothers' lead man at this time, and they're very purposeful in every single shot to make sure that kind of appearance and feeling is solidified.
Absolutely.
So the thought of him being any shorter, not going to happen. They've done these things with Dustin Hoffman. They've done it with shorter actors over the years, tried to make them taller. To just in terms of appearances is all it really is.
It's the angle of the shot. I mean, they've done it for Tom Cruise for years, guys.
I'll say this. I think that they pulled it off pretty well in a lot of ways. I found myself really enjoying his character And, kind of what I was noticing is obviously that very tough exterior, that kind of authority that he has and had in this movie.
Commanded.
But he commanded. That was his presence. But he also had this lighter side. And, we're seeing that when he gives the nod for the French to sing their national anthem. I actually don't know if it is their national anthem, but it is. It is. They sang that in the saloon, which I thought was really cool. And, you just see those little moments where he expresses that little bit of concern. And obviously with how the movie ends, his grand act, his service, I think it.
Have you tried 22 tonight? 22. Have you tried 22 tonight? Yeah. Do it again. Now get it out of here. Now get out of here. Don't come back. Yeah. And that's when our boy, Renault, Captain Renault, is like, I knew I had you pegged for.
What a funny character, man. Intimate. That dude.
Yeah. Incredible character.
Yeah.
I thought he was amazing. I thought he was brilliant. I thought he brought a great comedic element to the role. I thought his lines were snappy, punchy. I think he wasn't supposed to be such an integral role to the movie, but ended up being more so because of how well, that it shot and how well he was doing. One thing that I kind of had a thought was that guy seems like he could be a Wes Anderson character, right? Some of those lines and some of that delivery.
Oh, Dad, my dad's about to be just crawling in his skin.
He doesn't.
And Austin, I'd love to kick you, but I agree. I agree with that comic because he was so quick. He and Bogart together, man, they were good on. They were good on scene. Just like, even though that they're saying that Humphrey Bogart, Ingrid Bergman, man, when they were dynamite on the screen together. I mean, just the locking of the eyes. And I mean, let's face it, she's so beautiful that it doesn't matter.
I think a lot of that was on her too. I think that she was
beautiful.
Selling a lot of that. Her expressions.
This is something that is indicative of the time and the way they shot movies then as well, because you're in black and white, and maybe I don't know if obviously there's still a lot of thought that goes into every single scene today. And that's another thing kind of likened to Wes Anderson, and that how purposeful he is with his sets and his scenes and where everything is. But the way they shot her, the way they made her eyes sparkle, the way they made her face look soft. They had a gauze over the frame apparently of the camera to soften her facial features and make it feel like nostalgic. And they put these little lights that were sparkling right in her eyes. So the way that they set her up for success. Obviously, she brought a lot to the table with her natural beauty. She's also a wonderful actress, does amazing. Just that scene where Sam is playing as time goes by, and you just see her eyes kind of shift off to where it says she's thinking of something deep in her memory herself.
If she can take it, so can I.
Yeah. Yeah, but getting back to Renault, that line, I mean, like I said, he's hilarious in this. How can you close me up? On what grounds? I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on here. And then someone comes by.
And then they hand you money. You're winning, sir.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah. He put it in his pocket. That was great. That was a great scene, Austin. Well done. Really done. Good stuff. And Austin, I agree with you. If you remember It's a Wonderful Life, black and white, you remember just how what was it? Donna, help me here. Is it Donna Reed? Donna Reed. Just the same way they did her face and those beautiful eyes of hers. They did the same thing with Ingrid Bergman. Well, and it sells. It's good, Austin.
What I kind of wonder is like you said, I mean, this is old Hollywood. This is kind of, what you think of, again, when you think of the classic movie, the classic era of film. And I don't know, I feel like the presentation of these leading ladies in the films, it's something kind of unique. I don't think you're seeing that in the modern era, and I think that's for good reason, but it's kind of fun, I think, to just see that kind of like very dignified and...
Yeah. That's the thing too. Like, I don't think this movie objectifies her. I think where you're going is that these older movies, in terms of how women were viewed at the time, they might do that. And there are movies that do that, but in a lot of ways too, like they do a great job at making you fall in love with these women.
Is there a simpler? Something I was wondering. Do you feel like the relationship between her and Bogart? Do you feel like that, did it feel simplified to you guys at all? Did it feel like genuine? I think there are multiple factors that play into it. Because like in my head, I'm going, they're these like forlorn, I suppose ex-lovers. That's the whole thing. And I get that, and it's so meaningful to him, of course. Like, he doesn't even want to hear him playing the song. He's like, I thought I told you never to play that song. But then you find out they had only last seen each other, what was it, like a year or two prior? So it's not like it had been 2 years. It's not like it had been that much time, and it didn't really seem like they had that much of a development of their relationship. But obviously it was during a really impactful time, so maybe that's the
Griffin.
the
What you may be alluding to is let's call this what it is, okay? Humphrey Bogart is 43 years old in this movie. Ingrid Bergman is 27. Am I right, Austin? 27?
I don't know.
I mean, there's a 16-year difference in there. I mean,
worse.
No doubt. I mean, no doubt. And guys, I'm thinking maybe that's some of what Griffin's saying. Do you see is the chemistry there? Is it, I don't know. I know that there's two great actors that pulled this off, is what I know. So take that for what that's worth. But I mean, go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Are you saying maybe you didn't buy it so much, Griff, in terms of their relationship?
I actually wasn't going there. I was just kind of like, well, maybe it's not that I wasn't buying it. It's that, like, to me, I guess, like, I didn't know exactly how I felt about it, because it's like, it just kind of seemed like there was, the way they were acting, it was almost like they had been together for years, for this really long time, or they hadn't seen each other in forever. That was kind of the whole thing. It's like he's all torn up and he's smoking in the dark after his bars closed down, and he's listening to Sam play the piano and everything. And it's just like, it was this big, heavy scene. And I'm not saying that after 2 years of not seeing someone, you couldn't feel that way, but it just almost felt like bigger. It felt like it was kind of a little overblown for what it was. But again, during that era, I don't know. I feel like people probably felt a little more intensely. And again, it was during a war-torn Europe. It was a pretty heavy time.
What I'm going to say is I disagree with it, because yes, I think you're getting at it too. And I don't think you're wholeheartedly in that basket either. I think you're a bit in the middle. But, for one thing, yes, the time, I think people just kind of fell in love like that. And I believe in that kind of love too, to where you would be that torn perhaps. And also think about this. And I don't know how much time they spent together. It didn't seem like it was that long. You're right. But when she doesn't show up, you know what he's thinking? I will never see her or have any way to talk to her ever again. So she's basically dead to him. And it's someone that, before they left, he was like, let's get married in Marseille. And he's like, so he says in the beginning, he's like, I don't plan that far ahead. And maybe that's because of what happened, because he got a little ahead of himself there. He even says it in the moment. But he was fully in on her. And, obviously that love lasts as well. And that's why the sacrifice that he makes at the end is so impactful and powerful.
The big question, my big question is this. Was she playing some manipulative games when, kind of saying, hey, I'll never leave you again? Or was that actually how she felt? That's the question I have. Because, at the end of the movie, Rick is saying, hey, well, she came to me and she lied to me. She made it seem like she wanted to be with me to just spark me up and to make this work for the two of you. Was that the case?
Or no, you're not. You're not supposed to believe that. No, she loved him. She legitimately loved him, and Renault makes that case too. He says, "You lied to Laszlo, to soften his blow there, because I know love. And if we know anything about Renault, his hunch is he's on him. He always pegged our boy Bogart as a sentimentalist. He's on it. He has a feel for it. So I believe in that, and I believe that she did truly love him. But what Bogart's doing, and let's tie this in. What is this movie? This movie is American propaganda.
Absolutely, it is, Austin.
Humphrey Bogart is America. And when he makes that decision to send them off, this isn't disputed by any means. When he makes that decision to send them off, that's his decision to be involved in this war. America, in the timeline of when this is set, Pearl Harbor hadn't happened yet. We're sitting out. We're not getting involved with World War II. And when that happens, he's making the decision to finally get involved and fight against, the Nazi Germany. And him and Renault kind of go their way as well. So that's what it is. And he sacrifices his love, that love that he could have had, because he could have gone. He very well could have. But it was for the greater good, because there is something much more foul at large.
What a great line too. I don't have it exactly, but I bet one of you guys do, where he says, maybe you wouldn't regret it today, maybe you wouldn't regret it tomorrow, but in
soon.
Time you would, and you'd regret it for the rest of your life. And it's like, ooh, damn, man. Yeah. I mean, I think everyone knows that feeling to some degree, and I don't know. I think it is really, it might sound a little bit silly, but I do think it's really interesting to see these older films. I mean, this movie is over 80 years old.
I love the thought experiment of these old movies, and just it adds so much weight to considering just what went into making it.
Oh my gosh. And like the fact that these people are experiencing, and again, I probably sound ridiculous. Like I know that the Earth is freaking billions of years old, but it's like, oh my God, 80 years ago, these guys were feeling the same things as us. And like, look at these relationships. I don't know. It is kind of fascinating though, because I feel
we were in a world war. It's a completely foreign time, regardless of like the greater amount of time.
You know what I mean, though, right?
Universal state. Yeah. If we're playing on the universal field, sure. Yeah, that's not a long time, but yeah, I mean, it is a very interesting thing to do. And I love, I don't know, like I said, I was getting at how many old movies have you guys seen? Because there is just something about them that has a really endearing and charming thing about them. The dialogue in this. It's very hokey. It's very cliche in ways. Like it's goofy.
But you gotta imagine
movies had a dialogue back in the day. That's the thing. Their movies had a dialogue back in the day. Nowadays, all we have special effects, and we have gore, and we have shooting and killing and all that.
We don't watch that many of those movies.
Well, I do. I do. So yeah. So my point is, there's dialogue, and the other thing is, when they come out with the Technicolor, the colors are so brilliant. They're just so beautiful. The clothes that they wore, their skin tone, everything, just their hair,
brilliant. The set,
it just pops out there.
I was watching a video, and Spielberg talked about just the sets, and it's very clearly not real. It looks like a set, but there's something to the fantastic element of that too that really makes the story awesome. Another guy was like, I went to Casablanca. It was horrible. Like, it is not any bit as charming as this. Like, this Casablanca is the most romantic place on earth. Another thing, going back to this, the propaganda thing. What does Casablanca mean?
White House.
I mean, I don't know if that's too important, but like, yeah.
Well, something else I do want to hit on with that, you mentioned the cliches, but you got to think, man, like, these were not cliches.
Well, people were even saying it then. Like, they said this movie has more corn than Kansas and Iowa. like these are people that were saying these back in the day too. Like, so I agree what you're saying. There wasn't as much precedent, but even then they're like two cliches.
I mean, you guys know all these lines. I mean, you all have heard all these lines.
What's the big line, Dad? Let's hear it.
Here's looking at you, kid.
Do it in the voice, though.
Yeah, you got your hat on. Come on.
Hey, he froze up. He's gonna freeze up.
Come on.
Here you go. Here's looking at you, kid. You know, that's my
there you go.
Well done, Mike.
There you
well
go.
Done.
Hey, let's get into favorite scenes. Speaking
that's
of,
not in the script. That's not in the script. That's a Bogart thing that he brought from his real life. That's what.
Hey, I could have told you from watching The Holiday. I could have told you.
I will say, I think it was from Griffin. What's his name in the Holiday?
I think Arthur Abbott actually wrote that line.
It was Arthur Abbott, and I did not see his name anywhere. SOBs. They should have given him credit for
it. What an asshole!
Hey, man.
I love it. I just love it.
So favorite scenes.
Griffin, fire away. What's your favorite scenes?
My favorite scene, honestly, is when the German generals, or whatever I guess they would be called, their military men, they start singing their song. I think it was did you see what it was? It was like something Der Rhein. I don't know what it was, but they start singing their song, and next thing you know, our guy, Victor Laszlo, goes, "This is bullshit. I'm not standing for this." And he says, "Cue up the French national anthem." And the players look over at Rick like, "Hey, is that cool?" And Rick gives
that okay?
Nod. He gives that nod like, "Go for it." And they just blast it out, and that whole damn room fills up with those people singing that song. And I really loved our girl, Yvonne goes, I don't know what she said. Maybe you would know it better, Austin. You've been practicing your French. She goes, "France." I love the way she said it. It was something like "Viva France." And I was like, that's so great.
Yeah, it was cool. That's just like long live France kind of thing. But yeah, man, that is a super heavy scene.
Huge scene.
We've already talked on there being a lot of refugees involved with this. What's a kind of a weird thing, and they said it was kind of cathartic. A lot of the people playing German officers were people that fled directly from, Strasser, his wife was Jewish. They fled from Germany because their accents, those were the roles that they played. But when they sing this song, they said that people were legitimately crying and moved by this scene because it's so heavy. Dude.
It was moving.
World War II is going on.
You could feel the power in the
outside
scene,
of just
the women, the men were like, they were like just really, really.
I mean, I think you could feel it 80 years later watching it on the TV screen. It was
very powerful scene, guys.
Dang, that's a big one.
There's so many like happenstance moments with this movie too, where we see with a lot of art that things just timed up correctly. The release of the movie, them going to Casablanca, World War II occurring, along with where was I going with that? Pass me up for a second, guys.
Another scene I want to talk about. I really enjoy the scene where basically before they kind of come up with the big scheme, where we see our girl Ilsa actually speaking with Rick and kind of, holds him at gunpoint. That was insane when that happened. But I kind of love that whole scene where I guess like the mystery totally gets taken away. And she says, "Hey, this needs to happen." And he says, "Okay, I have a plan. We're going to figure this out." What I really loved about it was you're seeing their love just so prominently. They kiss. You get that moment. And, I wasn't sure if back in the day that was a bit controversial, showing two actors kiss on screen. I don't know, but I thought it was a great moment. Yeah. And also something with that, there was so much intricacy in that interaction. I don't know if you kind of mentioned it, Dad, and I'm not throwing you under the bus saying this. You had to really be paying attention and listening to what they were saying to actually comprehend what was happening. Because there was a lot of backstory. There was a lot of planning to make it work. They had to get Renault in there, the prefect, because like all of these plans to make him work and to make sure that Laszlo got to keep on doing what he was doing to actually fight against the Nazi Germany. It was just there were so many things going on, and I really enjoyed just how they were stringing it together, because that was not easy to do. There was a lot of complication going on.
And one of the things that you touched on there, you said I didn't know if you weren't allowed to show them kissing. They did kind of remove any direct statements towards them, getting it on. They imply it. Another thing is the ending. The ending, they couldn't have him go with Bogart because whatever governing body there was, they couldn't be promoting affairs. So it had to always be Laszlo in a way. But where I was kind of going earlier,
it still is good that it was Laszlo. That was the.
It makes it that much better.
Again, Griffin, it's American propaganda back then. So I mean, it's a no-brainer that Laszlo's going. We're the good guys. Remember that.
Oh man, I'm seeing right on my screen. We're just seeing Ilsa and Laszlo together in the what they call it, a gin house.
Yeah,
what did he call it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Austin.
But I love he said one of the great lines. Sorry, I keep doing this, but I loved when he goes, "Of all the gin joints, she shows up at mine." And it was like, oh God, that poor man.
All the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine.
Absolutely.
But what I kind of had it come back to me, but the happenstance things that just kind of went into making this, just work. In a way, there was something about that as time goes by, they were going to remove that song. The musical director hated the song. They were going to come back and reshoot it, but
thank God they didn't, because that was guys. I've heard my mom sing that song 1,000,000 times.
Ingrid had already cut her hair for another role that was going to be. She was going to be in a movie called For Whom the Bell Tolls, which kind of ties us back into, you mentioned that on our last Stranger Things episode, which won't be out yet.
Oh, yeah.
Look forward to that. That one, but also the writing of the script. They didn't have it fully fleshed out. Each day they were developing these characters, and it contributed to some of that kind of confusion that we see in Ilsa. They didn't know who she was going to end up with. It wasn't written yet. So there's a lot of that kind of perplexion encompassed with it. And also, Humphrey Bogart, as I mentioned, perplexity, sure, fuck you. Humphrey Bogart, he just, whatever, dude.
Hey, Austin, at least he's coming after you, too.
Who cares?
I had to get him back.
We could rip his fucking dick off, too, if we really wanted.
Look how pissed he is.
I mean, dude, he's trying to knock me off the fucking roll. Humphrey Bogart was a smoker and drinker, and coming to the set grouchy as hell, and that's what he is. He's this cynic.
Yeah.
Another great part about that scene.
I'm telling you, there's still that tenderness there. It's not. Does the grouchiness to you guys not seem like an act? Does it not?
Well, we know it from the beginning. We start getting little hints. He's like, you used to run guns all the time. I know you. I mean, Renault says it very early that, like, oh, I know you. You're a sentimentalist at heart. I've got you pegged for that.
Well,
don't they worked with the underdogs?
The underdogs. That's the word.
Like, you could have been paid a lot more with the winning side. He's like, all right, like he it.
Guys, he was one of the best actors at the time. I mean, this guy. Austin's talking about older movies. If you haven't seen Humphrey Bogart in African Queen, I mean, that is, man, he is a badass. I mean, everything you've heard about this dude, he's it in that movie. So, guys, his presence on screen is just, you're locked in when he, especially with he and Ingrid Bergman or Ilsa are on the screen. It's like, man, you cannot take your eyes off of them. Or I found myself, I couldn't.
Well, Ebert said she paints his face with her eyes.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Brilliant.
Well done. You got to give that you got to give him that one.
Hey, Austin, what's the hot tub time machine line?
Ginny's eyes, like a gypsy's lies, cut right through the night. Now those eyes are another guy's, and I'm alone within my pain. That was clean.
Woo! Yes, sir.
Yeah, baby.
Dad, what's your favorite scene from the movie?
What's your favorite scene,
Let's hear a favorite scene.
Griffin, I just like you. I was like, just kind of jumped up and I had to. My wife was watching a movie or watching one of her reality shows in the great room. So I had to go in my bedroom to sit and watch this. So when they were singing and you see tears running out of the one lady's eyes when she's singing, I was going right with her. I thought that was great. But guys, I liked it. I guess I'm going to go right to the end when you see Lewis and you see Rick together, and you think Rick's gonna make that shot, and he gets the German gets shot, and you're like, oh this is gonna go bad for Rick. And our guy Renault goes at that point, he's like, kind of like, hey, didn't see anything here, he's been shot, he's been killed.
He makes his decision in that moment too, because up until that point, the entire movie, his will has been like the fucking wind. It goes whatever which way. He has no conviction at all.
And he even says that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I love that kind of surprise.
The second best line of the movie, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. And you see him walking off into the mist. Man, that was just wow. I kept going. At the end of the movie, I kept going, well done. Well done.
Companionship.
I did. Hey, there we go.
Well done.
We've been dancing around that. I just love that decision that Rick makes to say, okay, we have these two passes here, and one of them's going to you, Victor, and one of them's going to you, Ilsa. You guys are going to continue your journey together, and, Victor's going to continue to be this rebel that everyone can look up toward, and that everyone can kind of, basically he's going to be this leader that he's supposed to be. And I'm going to assist that however I can, even if it does mean losing this woman that I love so much. I mean,
there's greater things at large, there's bigger
guys. I mean, let's be honest. The three of us are in the same boat, and you've got a shot at Ingrid Bergman. I don't know if Victor gets on that airplane. I don't know if that happens, man. Sorry, Laszlo. I don't know if that's gonna happen there, bruh.
Hey, you might have locked him in that closet like Laszlo from what's that one movie, Dad? You know what I'm talking about?
Real Genius.
Real Genius. He might have become that Laszlo had a beard.
Yeah, he might have. Hey, Griffin, the whole time I kept hearing Laszlo, I kept thinking of that idiot.
So what's your favorite scene or one of them?
I'm going to run through it here a little bit.
Hit it, Austin. There's a ton.
I really like the first kind of night at Rick's, where we see everything kind of begin in movement, and we have our one guy, Peter Lorre, playing Ugarte that night, and just everything kind of sets in motion. And then when we first see Rick is awesome. The film noir kind of techniques and just the lighting in this are just fantastic. They show him in a lot of ways in like kind of a half black, half white way, because it just kind of shows his perplexity as a character. He is a complex character in this. Like we said, he has this front, this hard front. I don't stick my neck out for nobody. Doesn't happen. But he comes around on that. But that's really great that first night. And, Ilsa comes in, and I kind of play it, Sam. Play, as time goes by. That's one of the lines
for you.
And just beautiful stuff. That's what I mean. That was the scene they were going to reshoot because that song wasn't going to be in anymore. Shout out Sam. How have we not talked about him yet? Oh my God! When they first walk into
Wilson.
When they first walk into Rick's, they thought about dubbing over his voice too. It's like,
oh my God. Well, Austin, he wasn't a piano player; he was a drummer.
That's what they say.
Somebody played the piano for him, but
is that true? Oh, that's funny.
That's true, but he sure could sing, and he played. He sang those songs well. Like as soon as they walk into the bar, you're like, I wrote down, "Fuck yeah, that is just good stuff." But also begins the plot. What's going on? These two couriers from Germany have been killed. They have these papers, and that's our MacGuffin for the movie. That's the item that everyone's looking for.
Guys, I just noticed this. Did you guys notice? I was watching, and when Rick comes out all pissed off at the scene we're talking about, it's playing on my TV right now. When he comes over to Sam, like, why? I thought I told you never to play that. Sam looks at him and gives a little. Did you guys notice that? He gives him a little.
Yeah, he did. He kind of nodded his head.
He did. Nah, I didn't notice that. I thought Rick just picked up on it, but I mean, and I thought it was cool too, Austin. Like, when they find out that those 2 officers were killed, and they have the hunch of who did it. Someone says to Renault, "Oh, well, aren't you going to arrest him now?" And he says, "Oh, he'll be at Rick's. We'll get him there. We'll make a big spectacle out of it."
That's another thing. You meet Renault right away, and you're like, this guy's just like so charming. And
we'll make a big thing out of it for Strasser. Hey, it'll happen then. Don't worry.
Guys, what did you all think of? What did you think of Rick's? I mean, didn't that look like that would be one hell of a good time there? They're singing that "Knock on Wood," and then here you are, you're eating, you're drinking, and everyone is singing and tapping on their table.
Well, who's unhappy? I'm unhappy.
Oh yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Like you said,
that was
Austin,
so much fun.
Sad sex.
What got me though? Hey, why don't we give a cheers for the sad sex, Austin? All the sad sex out there. We need a Clinkies, I'd say.
Cheers, and we got more on the sad sacks later.
Austin, is that a French 75 like Rick would drink?
No, and it's not a Veuve Clicquot either. It's not a champagne that our boy Renault.
I'll say this movie won me. I wanted to try a little cognac. Is that how you say it?
Cognac, yep.
Yeah, cognac. But what I wanted to say is I did think it was really cool when you're introduced to Rick's, you see all of these diverse people. All of these immigrants that had fled from war-torn Europe trying to get to someplace neutral to reach safety, and they're all crammed up in Casablanca because no one can get the hell out.
Yeah,
and that was
everyone's trying to sell something.
Everyone's trying to get out.
Everybody was scheming.
Felt like the Wild West.
Everyone was scheming. Everyone wanted that.
And there were vultures.
Well, and what was where were the hubs? Wasn't one of them Portugal?
Lisbon.
Was it Portugal?
Lisbon, Portugal. Yeah. Lisbon, Portugal is where
everyone
they were trying
wanted to get out to Lisbon. And I found that really fascinating. Throughout the whole time, you're seeing these people getting rejected. Oh, maybe we'll be on the plane. Maybe we'll make it out, and it was really, really something just interesting for me seeing all of those people from these different backgrounds in this shared space, which I'm certain, particularly back in the early 40s, that was probably a bit controversial. And to just see that in a mass Hollywood movie, I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, perhaps. Continuing on with some favorite scenes, we had that intro, and then that night Rick gets drunk and he knows that she's going to come on by, and she does come on by. But he had his whole kind of the montage of Paris is just kind of great, getting that backstory to why he is such a, miserable man today at that point in time. Is that my favorite scene, though? I had my favorite scene as the Vive la France. I think that's just great. And then the ending that they just absolutely nailed. And then, of course, the admittance of love of Rick, that scene, something that's really well done there and throughout it. As I already mentioned, the lighting of this. And I don't know if it can be achieved when it's colorized. I know this movie did get colorized and people hated it. They were pissed off about it.
Oh,
they did not like seeing the color element of it. And it does make sense when they're in that scene with Ilsa and Rick and they do confess their love, or she confesses her love for him. The blinds are kind of down, the lighting's going through it. So there's streaks that look like, bars that are restricting them. They're caged in. And it's kind of like, it's metaphoric in that this love isn't going to work. It's not going to happen. It's not the way forward. And ultimately Rick makes that decision. And I think it's one of like the best things they've ever done was the ending of that, because you've seen your happy endings. And we kind of touched on it in Shawshank in a little bit. They considered not showing you that he gets to Andy at the end. They just show you the bus scene, right? Kind of same thing here. Rick doesn't get his happy ending. He does in a way. It's at least a little redeeming. Come on, Mike, you fucking asshole. Look at him. You know where he's going. All this guy thinks about is spanking his monkey.
Golly, what is wrong with this guy?
I said happy ending, and you start chuckling.
It's the way you said it. Happy ending. I'm like, oh.
I didn't say it like that at all. Run the tape. It's on video.
It's on video. Hey, you can go back and watch it.
Golly, but yes, Moses. Rick doesn't get his love. He sends it off, chooses the greater good, and that holds on you. There's a lot of weight there. You feel for him. Who's the sad sack of the movie, guys?
Rick is.
Rick's the sad sack of the movie.
Hey, I almost think the sad sack of the movie was that what was his name? That guy that
Ugardi.
Well,
Ugardi was a sad sack.
I was actually thinking that dude. What was his name? Burger, I think. Yeah, Burger. Where he's like, he came up with the little. I don't even know what he had shown Lasso at that point to show that he was an ally, but he looked scared half to death when old Renault walked up, and his palms were sweaty. You could tell. I thought that guy might be the sad sack, but I do think Ugardi's a better one.
He looks like the guy who was there was an assassin. Was it the JFK guy? The guy was it the guy? He looked like that guy, didn't he?
Oh God, I couldn't tell you to be honest. Well,
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, I would say Lee Harvey Oswald. I guess that's where you're going.
Yeah. Sorry, maybe I'm just making that up. No, he looked like that guy. Look him up. He looks like.
Well, we know what clip's going to be showing up.
I don't know if we can do that.
Gosh, I hope not.
So yeah, I mean, my favorite scene is the ending. Man, it's hard to pick anything other than that. Well, I mean, there's
like you said though. I mean, I will say, aside from the flashbacks, I kind of liked. What was it? Frank, for your thoughts. That was such a cute scene, I thought. And he said, people will only give you a penny where I come from. Ha ha ha. And it's kind of, I thought like some of those scenes with them together were huge. And again, you could feel the chemistry, you could feel the tension, you could sense that love and that kind of adoration, which I thought was huge. But I think every other scene you're going to be talking about, or that you're going to be talking about, happens at Rick's, right? I mean,
right.
How could it not? But I mean, there were also, I think we got to give a little bit of credit to our guy, Strasser, because I think he plays a fine bad guy. I think that, it's kind of interesting seeing him and Renault interact, because obviously Renault's kind of tiptoeing, but at the same time, I think that he holds his ground. I forget what kind of is said, but I think Strasser has some point where he's like, hey, well, if you don't do this, this might have to happen. And Renault says, well, I'm sure you don't mean that, as we're in, a free area, that is French. I can't think of a good word.
Vichy France is what it was called. It was like under France control, but not really.
Yeah, he's like, I'm sure you don't really mean that, but he held strong, and I think that there were some interesting little tension points between those two characters as well. So,
yeah, let's get into our favorite characters. How about that? What are we looking like on time, G?
We are at we're actually about almost at 50 minutes, so I think we probably want to rock.
That's
my favorite characters. I mean, I don't know if you have a better character than Rick. Rick's probably got to be my guy. Just that commanding presence, like you said, and that kind of that swagger. He had swag for days. I thought, people respected
very
him.
Cool guy,
very cool. People respected him, but it wasn't overdone. And he also let a little bit of the cheese out, I think, when you see him with Ilsa, which was sweet and kind of humanizing too. And like you said, Renault is constantly saying, I knew you were a sentimentalist. So I love me some Rick, but I also am pretty fond of Sam. I thought Sam was a fun character. I like seeing his and Rick's dynamic. Ilsa has her power. I mean, there are really great characters in this movie, and Renault too for the comedic effect. And also our guy SZ Sokol. I thought he was kind of a funny character too. So
Carl was awesome. I
liked him a lot, but it's got to be Rick for me.
And Austin, I'm right there with Griff. Rick, I go back to the wardrobes that the characters had. He looked just perfect. I mean, everything fit it fits so well on him. And he's just the epitome of cool. You talk about, I love the Rat Pack, that Frank Sinatra. He just had that when he just commanded. He
was a member
attention.
of it. You know that, right?
Bogart.
Yeah.
I would not. I did not know that. I got to be honest with you. I didn't know that.
It's part of the original members. Yeah.
But I can tell you, he is just, man, he's cool. He's a cool cat. But I do want to say something. We haven't talked about this character, but guys, did you all? And I got a real chuckle out of him. The pickpocket. Did you all get? He was pickling these guys so much. I mean,
everywhere.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Where's my wallet? My wallet? I've left my wallet at home." And I'm thinking, dude, he just pickled you.
What an interesting character to have. There is literally no other development about him.
Did you guys twice? You only see him a couple times.
Did you guys notice that Carl knew what he was about, though? That guy walked past him and Carl was going,
Carl. Yeah.
Carl was like, "You're not getting me, bro. You're not getting me." Carl was on to it.
Pickle me. No,
he didn't mention,
But Rick is definitely my guy. Who you got, Oz?
Yeah. I got Renault, man. I really loved him.
He was cool.
And he's not just comedic levity either. He's in tune, man. He's in tap. And I really love his character growth.
Switched on.
Like I said, man, the whole time he has no conviction. He's going with the wind. Whatever way blows, that's what he is. Whatever's best for him. But finally, in that last moment, and I think it's maybe just as strong as a point, is the decision that Rick makes to let his love leave. He makes the decision in one of the best lines ever: round up the usual suspects.
Yeah.
And that's stemmed off a movie. Shout out your friend Chad Griff. He reached out and recommended that. If you're listening, true. Chad, I don't know if you knew that was in Casablanca or not, but they mentioned that, and that's what kind of gave the title. Yeah, exactly.
You say, though, that Renault was, he kind of did what was best for him, and that might be true, but that guy, maybe I'm wrong. I kind of thought he was mostly, now he kind of did, I guess he kind of pulled a fast one on that one lady whose husband, Rick, helped win the roulette. He kind of seemed to have a little bit of a shady operation on getting the pretty ladies to his office. Did y'all pick up on that? So
yeah, that was another thing that they cut a little bit in this. I think it was supposed to be more. I think it was supposed to be more.
I picked up on that. They said, "Chief, we got one who got their visa revoked or whatever it was. They got rejected or whatever the hell it was." And he's like, "Oh," and it's like, "Oh." Okay, I don't know if I can condone that one, my man, but for the most part,
Griffin, he was a shady character. I don't think there's any way to paint that. He's going to do what's best for him. So good try,
but
man.
At the end, he didn't necessarily.
No, but at the end, but maybe he said, "Hey, Rick's here with me. He's got this great joint that we can all go to, and guess what? He can help me down the road." I mean, this guy, believe me, he knows the game.
I really loved the line that he had when he was talking to Ilsa. He's like, if you were talking to, if I were a woman and, I weren't around, Rick was someone that I would be in love with. Just like little fun stuff. He just was really goofy, man. And and there was
he was trying to be his wingman.
There was another point where he's like, you're not too subtle, but you're effective. Rick says that about him, and his cards were on the table. He didn't lie to you.
Yeah.
He really just kind of laid it out there, except for go ahead.
Another great scene. I was just watching it. When our guy Rick does get stood up by Ilsa at the train station, that shot that holds on the handwritten note saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, but I'll never see you again," and see it raining. As time goes by, playing. Yeah. And the pen or the ink is just dripping out. It's like, oh, that's a great scene. What a what a just powerful shot.
Well done.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well done.
Some other characters just to make mention of really is Sasha the bartender. Great.
Yeah.
I thought he was fun in his little part. God, we haven't even I wish we could pick Ilsa, she was amazing, but there's only 3 of us and we didn't. It just kind of is what it is. My 6th man, Sam.
Sam's probably too much of a main character.
No, he's not. Are you serious?
Griffin, I went with Sam as my 6th man. I love him. I love him singing.
The 6th man of the movie, somehow it's got to be, I got to find some bullshit little thing to come up with like you guys have the past 2 or 3 episodes. Your 6th man. Hey, it's Morgan Freeman. It's his voice.
Yeah, the guy that got nominated for Best Actor in a lead role.
6th man. This one's going to really shock you guys.
He's a real role player, isn't he? Oh. A 3-and-D guy,
You all sit up at night thinking how bad you all can kick me. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Hey.
Austin, I'm with you. I think the 6th man is Sam. I thought
Sam 6th man.
It's Sam.
I loved him. I just loved him in it. I thought he brought fun to the movie. Again, I love that knock on wood, just how he got everybody interacting with him, and his singing. Wow, it was he did a very nice job, and he always called Rick
Boss.
Richard.
I thought he called him Boss.
Yeah, these guys didn't watch the movie, did they, guys? They got 2 different answers.
No, it's Richard.
I think we know who wasn't watching the movie. Hey, I'll tell you guys what. I'm thinking about.
Are we ready for themes?
I was about to say, I'm thinking of my themes and things, and I'm going to take your guys' thunder. Cigarettes. We got all kinds of cig ripping in this one. All kinds. Boozing. A lot of drinking going on. A lot of kind of just, I can't think of a good word for kind of, what are some good words for just getting out some drinks and hanging
shenanigans,
out? Shenanigans.
I'm drunk and these people are in purgatory. They can't leave. They can't go anywhere. They're just sitting there.
What is it?
Debauchery,
I'm cheating a little bit. I'm looking up a word. Is it like to cavort or something crazy like that? Nah, that's a little bit different. Oh, that's not the right one.
Look at him. He's so clenched up that we're going to make fun of him.
Yeah, it looks like
he's looking up the fucking...
Hey, the word I could use is perplexion. That's actually my main theme.
This is so crazy. Austin, I think I'm up. I can't take any more of this.
He thinks it's funny. He didn't even make a good joke.
It's so pitiful. Hey. So, guys, the theme of this is personal desires must be sacrificed for the greater good. That is the theme of this movie.
An extended theme.
Nazis, war, love, passion, struggle, timeless appeal.
Oh, sure. Nice.
And the last one I'm going to leave you with, hero. Rick is a hero.
Oh. Hey, Austin, the propaganda worked on him. What do you say?
Hey, well, propaganda doesn't have to be a bad thing, right?
No. No, I mean, I think you're right, Dad. I think there is that timeless quality.
Austin, please, can you rewind that for us?
Timeless,
that I was right.
Classic. That's a great point. I think the black and white, Hollywood, that's all right there. And I don't know. I think, like you said, to me, the biggest thing is that sacrifice.
Yeah. Mine, I got just that good old hokey dialogue, from these old movies. It's nice. It's like people don't even finish their sentences before the next line starts going. Like, it's not how conversation works sometimes, but it's like really good. And the delivery is just so like matter of fact, complex character, politics, corruption, vultures, sentimental, romantic, noble, sacrifice. You got those, Mike. Film noir, black and white, shadows, lighting, really effective and, purposeful with those shots. Storytelling, cigarettes, Hollywood starlet, classic Hollywood, propaganda, American, Grinch arc, as in, Sam, I said Sam Spade, but Rick Blaine, his arc, he's a grumpy old cynic, but by the end of it, I think he finds a little bit of himself and finds his heart in a way.
The underdog too. I think there is that underdog appeal, and
I missed that
just fighting fighting the good fight. Fighting the good fight. That's what you get, man. But
I'm going to go with the number one being that just American propaganda one, man. Just the timing of this movie when it came out and just how, it's obviously stood the test of time. Classic Hollywood's just another great one. This is the prime example of it. And
well, what about cinema? What about film? It is striking, and I think you still get that sense today watching this movie. So I'm really glad we got to watch it.
There's a magic to it, certainly. There is no doubt. And sometimes you feel like, man, maybe it's just because we're told we're supposed to really revere this thing, but it does work, and it fits, and it's a really great watch. And if you love movies, if you love film, there is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't see this movie, right? So let's get on out of here, fellas, with our last couple questions here.
Let's do it. I'm going to say this. I think that although we just talked about how good this movie is and how watchable it is and how anybody who loves film should see it, I think that you would want to see this film even more if our man Nick Cage could get in a time machine and go back and be in it. That's what I think. And I'll tell you
who would Nick Cage play in this?
And the truth is, who Nick Cage could be? He could be Strasser.
Yeah, that's what
Nick Cage could be Strasser. He could, and he would kick ass. He'd be so good.
I have him as Strasser, but honestly, I'm not going to. I'm saying no. This movie is not better with Nick Cage. I think it's just
he'd eat Strasser's lunch. I promise you guys. Nick Cage.
Dude, this guy was a legitimate refugee. There is a powerful element, and I'm being very sentimental about it. I think it's a bit of a bastardization.
Hey, Austin, they'd slick Nick Cage's hair back. It'd be about right here on the back of his head. And he could be mustache.
Strasser. He just fits the build. That's the thing. He's the same. He's just a string bean. That's what it is.
What do you think, Dad? Does this movie is it better with Nick Cage?
I definitely. And I'm serious when I say this. And let me put on my serious face. I'm serious. Nick Cage could definitely have been in this movie. There is not a doubt that the man could have been in the movie. He could have pulled it off. Now,
the time is so weird. Like it's
could he be Rick Blaine?
No fucking
no. There's no way he could pull that off like Humphrey Bogart. No. But there's so many. Ugardi, he could have been him, no doubt. He could have played that role and been that sleazy guy. He could have done that. Or Strasser, as Griffin said. He could have been both of those roles. So, the question is, would it have been better? I'm saying he could have been in the movie. I think this movie was well done. Man, it hurts to say it. I don't think we need Nick Cage in this movie.
So I'm the odd man out.
You're the odd man out.
Sorry, Griff. I love Nick Cage, but this was well done. But does Nick Cage have the look? He has the look, guys. He could have pulled this off. He could have been in this movie.
He could have been the bartender too, I guess. He could have been Sasha.
Absolutely. He could have been the bartender.
Yeah, he could have been Sasha.
You know what? Nick Cage, he could have been Victor Laszlo. He could have been Laszlo. Guys.
Nah, we know who Nick Cage was in this movie. Hey, Austin, I'm going to open the door on you. Is this movie a wine or a coffee movie?
I mean, it's not even a question, right?
This is a
wine. This is a wine movie.
Are you sipping your coffee in the morning to this one, Dad?
No. You are drinking wine to this movie. I think that
maybe some gin.
Well, maybe some cognac. That's what I'm saying.
What was his drink, Austin? I wrote it down.
I got the
somewhere.
I got the
French
champagne.
The French 75. Champagne. It's a gin-based champagne cocktail, and that was his drink.
Oh,
it was a French 75.
This one's elegant. This movie, everything about it speaks to, classic elegance, beauty.
Could be a Pinot Noir as well. Sleek, elegant, crafty, romantic as can be.
Romantic,
just seductive. It's a seductive wine. It really is. I drank a Pinot Grigio tonight. Didn't really fit the
You
theme,
picked the least seductive wine out there, right?
It was actually a really good one. It had a little more body than you might think from it. It wasn't so sleek. California, so you're getting some warmer weather, so some riper fruit, but it's still sitting on your green fruit, your citrus fruit, grapefruit, lemon, green apple, pear. Nothing too terrible.
A little pineapple?
No pineapple. That would be your tropical fruit there.
Hey, there you go. Hey, well, I think we all are unanimous on that. This is a wine movie at its core through and through.
And a cigarette movie.
This is, I think you said it perfectly, Austin. It's all seduction. That's what this movie is. And I think it succeeds immensely. I think it was a really fun one to watch.
I agree. Mikey.
Griffin, that excellent pick. I'm glad I watched this movie from the beginning to the end. Again, I've watched bits and pieces with my grandma. I cannot tell you how many times, but I'm glad I finally finished this movie. It is a classic. It's one that I would highly recommend that everyone watch just for Bogart, Ingrid Bergman. Just those two are dynamite, and it's so worth it. And again, Claude Rains, as Austin pointed out, he does a fantastic job as well. So definitely recommend this one. Great job on your end, Griff. Good movie.
Yeah. This is a classic, maybe the classic. It would have been a great one to see when it came out, and just to be a part of the world at that time would have just been absolutely insane. Seeing this movie, not knowing if your country's going to be free in a few years, they
need to show this one at the Kentucky Theater here in Lexington. That'd be one hell of an experience. That'd be a lot of fun.
That would be great,
Griffin. That may happen, so be on the lookout.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this. Purple Boys, we're working hard. We're still pushing. We got more and more coming, guys. Is it your pick next, Aus?
It's my pick.
What you got?
We're going to go with The Departed.
Oh.
Scorsese, we're getting him out here.
Leo,
we're getting him out here.
Matt
Damon, we're getting him out here. Jack Nicholson, we're getting him out here. Welcome to the Purple Podcast.
Hey, what's our one boy, Charlie Sheen's dad? What's his name, Dad?
Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen. That's it. It's not Estevez.
Yeah.
Martin Sheen's in there.
Well, he is an Estevez.
They throw Martin Sheen off the damn building, don't they? Spoiler, I guess, but
it's going to be a good one.
Oh, it's
well done, Oz.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to have a lot of fun. Other than that, guys, man, I don't even know what else to say. I think we had a fun old time tonight, as we always do. I hope you guys enjoy listening. Thank you for listening. If you've gotten all the way through it, once again, we always appreciate you guys sending love out your way. If you're enjoying it, help our algorithm out. Give us a like, give us a share, give us a comment, whatever you're doing. If you're listening, give us a 5-star. That would be awesome. If you're liking, of course, be honest. But how could you not like the sax, man? The sad sax.
Guys, we're just a bunch of sad sacks. Look at these guys.
We're just like Rick out here. We're just like Rick, man. We're a bunch of sappy, sentimental, sad sacks, And welcome. We're inviting too. If you want to join the team, hey, we're just hop on the bandwagon, man. It's a fun ride, I promise you.
It's only going up.
Only going up. Maybe not, but we'll see. Ups and downs.
No, none of that. None of that. Sky.
Rocky Road.
Yeah. Keep it going, baby. Well, Austin, I appreciate you very much, man. I'm glad we get to do this. This is really something that means a lot to me. I'm having a great time. Love getting to talk with you guys and to do this.
Yes, sir. Mikey, anything else?
Again, appreciate it. Looking forward to doing The Departed. That should be a real good one. That one's, again, that's a Scorsese. It's going to be, there's a lot of violence in it. It's going to be a little bit different than what we've seen. So it'll be exciting.
Not like, sure. Some violence. We'll be good, guys. And you guys at home, you be good as well. We'll be talking to you soon. Bye-bye.